Okay.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah. We have to agree to being recorded.
Since when?
Yeah, since I don't know. I think that's the first time it's
New.
ever happened. Ever since Shannon Sharp did that to Julio Jones today.
I was just gonna say that. Even though that was staged.
But that's not even Zoom. What the fuck?
I don't know.
You just did a Zoom last Thursday. That's weird as fuck.
Yeah.
All right. What's up, everyone? Back again. New style show today. We're debating 3 topics. We each came up with one. Ryan, how was your weekend?
It was good. Didn't really do a whole lot, but
yeah,
I'm glad it's finally summertime. Very, very hot out.
Yeah, it is. And to that fucking Nagy, everyone knows Nagy, fucking came to my lake house just drunk as a skunk. So, just a wild move from him. But
he's never met like everyone in your family, right?
He has only met my dad. So
What lake are you guys on?
I'm not giving out my information, dude.
All right.
Nah, it's up in Michigan. It's like 45 minutes from South Bend.
God, he was hammered.
But yeah, he's
he was so drunk.
Interesting human being, to say the least. All right, let's get right into it. First topic we're going to debate is, let me pull up the tweet. It is more impressive win. Obviously, Phil Mickelson won the PGA Championship yesterday. And in 2019, Tigers won the Masters. So Phil became he's the oldest to win
oldest person ever to win a
major. Yep.
So more impressive win, Tigers 2019 Masters or Phil's PGA Championship win yesterday? Zach,
this is yours.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
You can go. I'm gonna say Phil's 2021 PGA Championship. Solely because of the age. And of like, if you want to bring in betting terms, odds factor. I looked back. Tiger was 14-1 odds to win the 2019 Masters. Phil was 250-1 to win the PGA. Also, being the oldest ever, being 50 is pretty impressive. He shot 6 under. He shot 6 under for the tournament. Shot 1 over for Sunday. Fun fact too, Brooks Koepka also tied for second when Tiger won the Masters.
Okay, so Zach is on the Phil side. Ryan, where do you fall on this?
So Zach, this is a tough debate, but it's a good one though, because I think both were very impressive, but I'm going to go with Tiger in 2019 for a couple of reasons. One, Phil was in the lead going into Sunday. I'm not putting that against him, but basically, he just did not have to mess up. Tiger, I remember he was not in the lead. I think he was either 1 or 2 shots back of first. And if you look at the top 10 of the Masters in 2019,
to your point, Ryan,
Dustin Johnson, what's up?
To your point, yes, he was behind. It was the first major he ever won, not leading going into Sunday. Go on.
Okay. So basically Tiger had to he had to play well on Sunday because he had a lot of really good golfers kind of like right on his neck. He had Dustin Johnson, Xander Schauffele, Brooks Koepka, Jason Day, Tony Finau, John Rahm, Patrick Cantlay, and Ricky Fowler all in the top 10. That's a really good top 10. What's up? I'm sorry.
Who was in first going into Sunday?
I think it was
because Tiger was.
I want to say it was Schauffele and Molinari and Finau. I think Finau, Molinari, and Schauffele were.
Or wait,
all somewhere.
I think Tiger was in the lead going into Sunday.
No, he wasn't. Molinari was minus 13. Tiger was minus 11.
Oh, he shot 2 over. Yeah,
he shot 2 over. He was 2 behind.
Yeah, Molinari fell apart because I remember he really fell apart. I think it was on the first par 3 of the back nine. He went in the water, and he was not the same after.
Did you not just hear my stat? It was the first major he ever won, not leading going into Sunday. That was his first major.
Oh, I didn't know you were saying about Tiger.
Yeah, that was the first major he ever won, not leading going into Sunday.
Okay.
was the Masters in 2019.
So basically, I think it's more impressive because the people that he had to fend off on Sunday, there were multiple people like saying that Tiger will never win again. And then it was before the Masters. They were saying he had a really good showing, like, oh, maybe he will, maybe, but then it's the Masters. Like that's like, I'm sure a lot of people. I mean, it's an opinion, but that's probably the biggest major of the four.
No, it
It's
definitely is.
Jacket.
It's the biggest.
Not an
It's
opinion. It's a
biggest.
fact. It's the
Yeah, it's the
Masters.
biggest. I
This
won't even
debate
debate
is
that.
over. It is Tiger Woods because Phil Mickelson is still golfing, and yes, he hasn't been the greatest, but he hasn't had really any major injuries. Tiger before 2019, which he's even still dealing with, had so many major injuries. He came from behind. Phil shot a +1 on Sunday and still won. So like everyone played like shit. So it's
That's
not
what I
like
was going to think.
he had no pressure. If Brooks Koepka could have played okay, it would have been interesting and probably would have made Phil's win this would have been a better debate in my opinion. But no one really shot and put any pressure on Phil. If Phil would have played okay, he would have pulled away even earlier on like 12 or 13. Like he was a way bigger long shot to win, yes, but like no one really played well. So it wasn't like he went out there and shot. Like Tiger won at 13 under and in Augusta. So he went out and he played well. This is definitely Tiger. I mean, Phil's is probably number 2.
I think it's hard to compare golf score
he is
though.
50.
Zach, you're right. It is hard to compare golf scores because the course was so tough yesterday. They had 20-mile-per-hour winds all day long. And honestly, if I had to guess, I think that course is probably tougher than Augusta. It's because there's no room to miss. But yeah, I still think it's Tiger because, like you said,
because the best round
of
the whole tournament was like 4 under.
Yeah, like you can tell Brooks
he shot 1 over.
You could tell Brooks isn't completely healthy. You can't even look at his ball.
Yeah,
like how he normally would.
I mean, Phil missed shooting even by 2 inches.
Yeah, so I think a healthy Koepka probably would have won yesterday, but it's over. You can't really think about that anymore.
I mean, it shows Dustin Johnson what he shoot 6 over. Didn't he make the cut?
Yeah, he didn't make the cut, and then
too, but
Justin Thomas didn't make the cut. There's a lot of big names that didn't make it.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I think you can make an argument because when you don't have really pressure, like Brooks put pressure on him for 1 hole, and then the next hole Brooks bogeyed. So like not having pressure on a Sunday, we've seen in golf.
I mean, he was only 1 stroke, winning by 1 stroke going into Sunday.
He actually
but that's not pressure. That's not pressure when the guys behind you are shooting like shit.
Yeah. I agree.
Like he's -1. He's only 1 stroke lead. Yes, going into Sunday, I agree with you on that. But like, no one came out and shot well. The one guy was like there for a second, and he had a chance to eagle a hole, and he missed that. And then like the next 2 holes, he bogeyed. So he wasn't even. He ended up finishing, I think, like 2 or 3 under. So like he never had true pressure on him. Like there was not one point of the, like everyone, and I was with everyone, like, when is Phil gonna mess this up? But like in reality, like he could have still probably bogeyed and he still was gonna win it. Like he was that, like it was that much of him. No one else was really doing anything. And I agree. I think like the whole Brooks thing, like his knee probably just gave out by Saturday late rounds, and Sunday was tough for him. But like, I mean, he won by 2, and I mean there was a few guys who shot well. I mean, like Sunday was, I think, the best overall rounds from people that were in the top 5, because the top 5 or the top 3, I guess, shot like shit. But like Harrington shot a 69, Lowry shot a 69. So like, it wasn't like guys couldn't shoot well on the course. Like, I don't know. I really don't know what normal scores are at this course, but I feel like most years of 6 under.
Yeah, 69 is 3 under because of par 72. That's a really good round.
I'm saying I don't think 6 under would comfortably win you this event every year.
14, 18.
Do you have a call? Do you have to leave?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be back. It shouldn't be that long.
All right.
If you guys want to wait or whatever.
Yeah, we're just gonna wait. So we're pausing
Okay.
right now. Ryan's going to save the world, and we'll be back in a second. We're back. Ryan saved a
Little kid's life.
little
Another
kid's
one.
life, so everyone should thank him in the comments and tweet at him and
Like, subscribe.
thank him for everything he does for everyone. So, all right, we're back. Tiger, Phil, debate.
I also am biased on Phil, so that's why I like him.
Yeah, I mean, both of them are pretty like insane feats. Obviously, Phil's the oldest person to win a major. I think what makes him make it a better argument for Phil is just how bad he's been the past like 5 years. Like I think he was ranked before this like 132nd in the world, and he had to get it like approved by the board just to be allowed in this tournament. Like he wasn't supposed to be allowed in this tournament just from if he didn't like get this approval or whatever, he wouldn't even have been there. So like that right there, I think does make the argument a little more. I just think like I don't know, probably because one, it's the Masters. Like Masters is the goat of golf courses, the goat of golf tournaments, and like Tiger's bigger than Phil, so I think that has a little to do with it. But like also like I don't know, like who really thought like a lot of people didn't think Tiger was ever going to golf again. Like his back was fucked up. So I think like that plays a huge factor into it. And yeah, I just like, I don't know.
I agree.
I think the way I like, yes, Phil's 50, but like, think of how good Tiger's been. And it was his first major he ever came from behind on a Sunday. Like that's kind of insane to think about. Tiger Woods has never came from behind on a Sunday. So, but both are good. We ran it on Twitter and Instagram, and Twitter there's 30 votes, and Tiger is 72% leading that one, and then Instagram is at 20 votes, and Tiger has 16 and Phil has 4. So, like I said, though, I think a lot of that's just popularity too, though. Like it's Tiger Woods. He like that's always going to be bigger. All right, moving on. Next one, we're going into college football. So we're gonna debate this as if you are the coach. So if personal preference can come into a factor in this one, if you just like the school better than the other, that can make it that can be involved in your decision. This is not just purely on like who do you think you have the best chance of winning with, but if you were a head coach and let's say you got these 3 job offers, the money is the same, the years are the same, everything's the same, and it's Nebraska, Tennessee, or Miami. What job are you taking / what job do you think could get back to relevancy? I should say. Yeah, I know Miami's kind of been relevant, but like honestly, they really haven't. Like the one year they went to the Orange Bowl, lost to Wisconsin. That was kind of like their one year that they were in the national spotlight. They beat the shit out of Notre Dame, but then they ended up losing to an unranked team, then getting their ass kicked in the ACC championship, and then losing their their New Year's Six bowl game. So they really haven't been. Nebraska's been just ass cheeks for a while, and
Since Bo left.
Tennessee. I mean, they were even ass cheeks when he was there the last like 4 years. Tennessee's been this kind of the same way. I think their best year is probably like an 8-4 year that they've had recent, like in the past 10 years. They haven't been shit. But Ryan, we'll start with you. What school are you taking and why?
So I looked at this in a few different areas, in some different directions as well. Looked at fan base, the challenge in general, like challenge recruiting, like what conference they're in, and I guess it's really just those 2 things. I think out of those 3 fan bases, I think Nebraska by far has the best fans. They travel very well, especially when they're doing good. Miami, they have the worst fair weather fans. They only come out when they're good. Like I remember when Notre Dame played Nebraska, I think it was like 99 or 2000 when Nebraska was a powerhouse, so like top 5 team all the time. They came to South Bend very similar how Georgia did in 2017, like half the stadium was red.
But
So from a fan base, I think they have.
I mean, they were consistently good for 10 years at that point.
Yeah.
Like if Nebraska came to Notre Dame next year and Tennessee also came to Notre Dame next year, Tennessee would have a way better turnout than Nebraska.
Maybe. I don't know. Didn't they have a good turnout at UCLA too a couple years ago?
Who? Tennessee or Nebraska?
Nebraska at UCLA.
I don't remember.
UCLA?
I thought they did. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
All
Anyway.
I know is when they had game day there and Ohio State came into town, when it was like everyone thought that Scott Frost was going to turn it around. I think they were like 1-0 or whatever, and Ohio State beat them by 50. They said the crowd was 50-50, and it was a home game.
Oh, Ohio State travels.
No.
It'll probably be 50-50 in South Bend when Ohio State comes. I'm not even kidding.
No, Georgia wasn't even 50-50. That was like 35-65. Like 50-50 is an insane thing. And also,
it'll be close.
It was Nebraska's first time being in the spotlight in like 9 years. How do you not sell that out for your own fans?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Ohio State. Well, I think that says more about Ohio State than Nebraska.
If Ohio State went to Tennessee, they would not have 50% fans in that stadium.
It'll be a lot.
If the scenario is still the same, if they're both 1-0 like Nebraska was, it's the 1 year that whatever Heupel or whatever, they're at college game days there, it would not be 50-50. Zero chance.
But anyway, and then Nebraska's not an Ohio State side of the Big Ten, right?
No, they're not. They're with.
So they're in Wisconsin side. So really, if you think about it, they have to worry about.
Side.
They have the easiest side of the Big Ten. It's really maybe Wisconsin every year, then maybe every couple of years Iowa. And then I just like the challenge, like Miami and Tennessee, especially Miami. They really don't have to leave the state for recruiting.
You didn't throw out the team who's like won the West in the Big Ten like 3 out of the last 4 years, Northwestern. Damn.
Yeah. I don't know.
What do you mean?
Northwestern surprises everybody every season.
Everyone's like, "What? Pat Fitzgerald? I mean, he's okay, but they only win 9 games." It's like, dude, they just won the Big Ten. Like, people give. You last week said Paul Chris is a top 10 coach. Fitzgerald's been in the Big Ten championship more than him.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad coach.
Well, you said I said Northwestern. You said they're as good as anyone in that side in the past 10 years.
I think that says that side is so weak.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if you're gonna mention team, Iowa's been in one time.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry.
Saying,
Wisconsin
show a
and
little
Northwestern.
Respect.
Let's not forget Ohio State. Didn't they beat Northwestern? Was it 2018 when Ohio State scored against Northwestern? It was like a top 10, top 20 matchup. And like, remember Joey Bosa scored like a strip sack in the end zone and it ruined the spread.
That was at Northwestern. You're talking about?
Yeah, that 18.
That was a year after they won it all, I think.
So that would have been 17 then.
Then it was 16. Yeah. They won it in 15.
Yeah, I think it was 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, it was long ago. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Zeke Elliott's last year at Ohio State.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was. You're right.
But then to like the recruiting side, I think it's tougher for Nebraska to recruit because they're in Nebraska. I mean, it's Miami. They don't have to leave the state. Tennessee's not as easy it is for Miami, but they're still in the South and they're in the SEC, so kids will want to play there.
Tennessee's a top 10 state in terms of football, probably.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Yeah. So even though they do leave,
but I'm just saying they'll have to try harder than Miami would.
Probably, yeah, I agree. But I'm just like Tennessee high school football compared to Nebraska, like it's not even close.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure.
So I just think the challenge. I like the challenge to build that team up, to build a national brand. You can't just stay in state to build your talent or build your team. I think you'll have a little bit of an easier road to the conference championship, and I just like the fan base. So those are kind of those are my three big reasons why.
Okay, so you just picked Nebraska. Who
Yep.
did you pick 2 and 3? Who, if you did, like, who would you pick second and third then?
I would have picked Tennessee.
And then Miami.
I think that I picked Tennessee over Miami more because I just really don't like Miami. I don't know.
No, I feel that. Zach?
I would choose Miami just because of the old what Miami was in like the 80s and the 90s. Like I think college football is better when Miami is relevant.
See, I don't really agree that much because their stadium fucking blows for a college football game now. Like it's
not even their stadium, is it? It's the city's.
But it's the Dolphins, but like it blows for a college football game. It's like 45 minutes from the campus. And they've said that even that year that they were good when they beat Notre Dame was the only game they sold out. Like, think about that. They were in the top 10 going into that game. So they were good all year. So their fan base, unless it's like a Notre Dame or Clemson, they don't even show up anyways. So like, I think in the 80s and 90s, it was all cool and you had the Orange Bowl. But like nowadays, like, I really don't think I wouldn't consider, I think relevancy, Nebraska being back would be more relevant to college football than if Miami came back, in my opinion. But go on.
I don't know. I just enjoyed obviously the early 2000s too, with those teams with Larry Coker and Ken Dorsey.
Did Miami beat Nebraska, or did Nebraska beat Miami? Did they play in the championship?
That was in like the 80s. Miami.
I'm thinking of Ohio State, Miami. Never mind.
Yeah, that was 2000. But Miami beat Nebraska for one national title in like the 80s or 90s.
Yeah. Then was it 01 when there was the bad PI call?
Yeah, because what was it? 2000 was when they beat the fuck out of Oklahoma, and then
55 to something.
Yeah, and then they played Ohio State. That was a horrible call. Also, that was
that's one of the worst calls. Yeah, I mean, it determined the championship.
It probably is the worst call, especially how late it was called.
Yeah,
that just is most pathetic call I've ever seen in my life.
Very bad.
Okay.
I guess I liked going back to those days of how good Miami was. And they were relevant. Like, I think that'd just be cool again to see. That's really my biggest reason. Like, it had nothing to do with fan base. It had nothing to do, they're going to get recruits. I just think if they could compete at that level again, I think it'd be so awesome for college football. I mean, they had that record of guys going to the NFL for 300 plus weeks of scoring a touchdown. Like, that's unreal.
Yeah.
Like, that's sweet.
Who, for sure.
Yeah.
Who was your second and third then, if you had to?
I would go Tennessee second, Nebraska third.
Yeah, so I think Miami is cool, and I think more the aura is like the 80s and 90s of them being cool.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a lot more to do with it. I don't know if they necessarily got back now, like, if they would have that same type of thing, just because, one of their biggest selling points was, the old Orange Bowl. Like, that place was a shithole that they would sell out, and it would be awesome. You'd go there, it'd be loud as shit and everything. Yeah. Like, the new stadium just doesn't have the same feel. They're in Coral Gables. Like, it's not it's nice little Miami Beach area. It's not, what they're used to in the shitty Orange Bowl. But for me, I would go Tennessee. To Ryan's point, though, Nebraska out of the three, easiest to win at in terms of who you're playing each year. Nebraska's 1. Miami's probably 2 because they're not on Clemson's side in the ACC.
They've got to win that thing to go in the ACC championship.
Right. And Tennessee's probably 3 just because, unless Miami was on Clemson's side or Nebraska was on Ohio State's side, either side of the SEC is better than the Big Ten West and the ACC. I don't know if it's Colster or whatever. And then fan bases, though, I think Miami is clearly the worst fan base. I don't think that's a question. I think Tennessee is the best fan base. There's still people on Tennessee still sells out every single game.
Yeah, and their stadium holds 104,000,
yes,
isn't it?
And it's still
I like
crazy.
Neyland Stadium a lot.
It's still crazy each game, at least until the 4th or 5th game, and then they realize that they suck again. And then so fan base, I'm going Tennessee, Nebraska clear 2, and then Miami's clearly 3rd. And then just the SEC is like if you win in the SEC, it's so much cooler than winning in any other conference. And
Yeah, it's the hardest conference in football.
the hardest conference football. I mean, they take it the most serious down there. Like it's the best conference for a reason. And I think just winning at Tennessee, like, you know, when Manning won it that one year, when they've been pretty good a few years where like people said that they were back and, you know, like they were top 15 a few years. I think one year with Josh Jobs, they finished like 16th or 17th ranking. But I would have to go Tennessee, and then I would probably have to go to Miami. Like I do think of the you know the 30 for 30 about him and stuff like that was all sick. I think that's more of an aura though. Like I don't think if they got back they would be like that anymore. Like I just think it's who they are. People just don't give a shit about their football team. Nebraska would be third for me just because I think it's like I don't know. I don't think the Midwest sells anymore. Like you got to be like Ohio State. I think Nebraska has the problem with all this is like Miami's sick because it's in Miami. Like kids nowadays who are in high school choosing schools, all they know is Nebraska is like an ass team kind of. Like they're not like they don't know about like the Nebraska hasn't really been good since like probably I mean, they were in the Big Ten championship a few times, but
You could really honestly maybe say the late 90s, honestly.
yeah, like a
And like a
national
recruit now is
championship
not going
good.
to know that.
No, they did go to the with Eric Crouch. They were good that of those few years.
I was actually just looking at the last team that I remember Nebraska being good is and Dominican Sue's senior year.
They played
They lost to
Colt McCoy
Oklahoma in
in
the Big 12 championship,
No,
22
it
to
was
20.
Texas. I thought was it Oklahoma?
Oklahoma.
I thought they
They-
lost.
they
I
finished
thought it was
the-
Colt McCoy.
I thought it was Colt McCoy. Yeah, and it was a really close game, and that was like if they
Because
were
it was like
lost,
there was talks of Sue like winning the Heisman because of how
I'm
dominant.
looking at the schedule now. It says Oklahoma, but
Well, you're reading it right.
they
Yeah.
did lose to Texas that year too, 20 to 13.
I thought it was yeah, because I thought like because it was a close game. I think Texas won a last second field goal, and they might have went twice then. Okay, let's see.
And maybe they did. Let me look at 09.
Yeah, 09 they did play. That's what I'm thinking of. Texas beat them 13
Oh
to
yeah,
12.
13 to 12.
Yeah. So like okay, I guess 09, 2010, like yeah, they were pretty good then. But the problem is they haven't been good recently, and like they're just a team in
No.
there's just a team in the Midwest, which like that doesn't sell to people anymore.
They actually
Like
haven't had a winning. They haven't had a winning season since 2016.
yeah, like that's horrendous. And like
That's bad.
nowadays with social media, every fucking kid wants to go to these cool schools. So like that helps Miami a bunch. And then like Tennessee's in the SEC, so you're treated like a god. Like I don't know. I feel like it's all but relevant. But like you said though, like I do think like if Nebraska did get good, like their fans would become crazy again. It's the only thing in the entire state. Like there's literally nothing fucking else. So
No.
that they have that going for them.
I think what really hurt Nebraska was the hire after Bo Pelini.
Yeah, but I also think people put way too much stock in Scott Frost. Like, bro.
Well, no, he wasn't the guy after Bo.
No, I know. I'm saying now though. Like he's been there for 3 years. They've been ass.
Oh
like,
yeah,
so bad.
My thing is like Bo, like he never had a bad year.
I think every Nebraska fan would take his 8-4
Yeah,
years
that's what
right
I'm saying.
now. Like, yeah, I agree with you.
He got you 9 wins every season.
That was a total move of like a college football powerhouse making a move, thinking that they still are a powerhouse.
Yeah.
And now realizing like, no, we just fucking suck.
Yeah.
Scott Frost, I think like if Scott Frost goes 6-6, would you be like, oh, they're on their way up? Like I think they have to go like 8-4 this year. Like 6
Well,
and
Adrian
6-6 would be an
Martinez,
improvement
it was,
to anything.
yeah, it would, but like they're in that shitty side of the Big Ten. I'm sure their non-conference games are all cakewalks. That's 3 wins right there. So like 6-6 to me is just like, I mean, that's nothing.
I'm gonna
like,
go to their schedule for this year.
Adrian Martinez is still like one of the top 30 Heisman favorites.
It makes no sense.
He can't throw a
Their
football.
non-conference schedule this year is so bad. Fordham, Buffalo, and Southeast Louisiana.
That's what I'm saying. So okay, wait, those are two.
Wait, say those again.
Wait. That's actually NCAA made a new rule that like if they have 6 wins and they're not actual Division I teams,
Yeah, you
They will
don't go
get. They won't. Yeah, unless there's no one else to go send to a bowl.
Oh, I'm sorry. They're fourth. They do play Oklahoma.
they're about to get.
That's right.
At Oklahoma.
You remember over the past few months, Nebraska was trying to get rid of that game.
Yeah, that's right.
They were trying to move.
They are going to get waxed.
Yeah, they were trying to move that game. So wait, who is it then? Because they only play
their
3
non-conference
non-conference, right?
Fordham, Buffalo, Oklahoma, and Southeast Louisiana. They play 2 non-FBS teams.
Dude,
so
I think. I don't think Fordham is.
No, Fordham is not. So that means that in reality, they'd have to win.
Wait, no, I don't think they play Southeast Louisiana.
Yeah, they don't play in that this year. They just play Fordham, Buffalo at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're looking at.
Looking at.
I don't know what you're.
Yeah, they play on November 13th.
Yeah, I don't think that's a.
They
2021.
It says that they're off on this one too.
Yeah.
I'm on ESPN. Whatever, ESPN's wrong or whatever. I don't know.
They are, but okay. So they start at Illinois, then they play Fordham, so that's obviously a win. Buffalo, that's a win. Illinois, who really knows if they'll win that game because Nebraska blows. At Oklahoma, that's a loss. At Michigan State, I mean that's probably a loss since it's a road game. Northwestern at home, all depends if Northwestern has if they I've noticed Northwestern, they they go to the Big Ten title game, then they suck. Then they go to the Big Ten title game, then they suck. So it'll be interesting for that. Michigan at home, I mean, honestly, they probably win that game.
Probably a win.
Yeah, I was going to say they probably somehow win that game. At Minnesota is probably a loss. Purdue at home, that's a toss-up in my opinion. Ohio State at home, that's a loss. At Wisconsin, that's a loss.
I don't know. Ohio State, I don't know. I'm saying they definitely should be underdogs. Nebraska should be 2 to 4 touchdown underdogs, but Ohio State's always good for a bad game.
Dude, they thrax Nebraska every year.
They've played Nebraska 5 times, I think, in the past 5 years, and they've won on an average of by 47 points.
They
murder Nebraska. Yeah. And Nebraska's so bad.
There was one year, it was I think it was legit 66-0.
I think that was the year that College Game Day was there. Because it was week 2, and the spread was only 29.5. Because Nebraska was 1-0.
2016, 62-3.
So, but 1, 2, 3.
Lincoln, and then 2017.
4, 5,
the only close game was 6. 2018.
I mean, they might go 6-6, but they won't go to a bowl game because they'll have a win against Fordham. So
yeah,
all right.
The 2018 was the closest game. It was 30.
Let's move on. So we got Zach would go to Miami, I go to Tennessee, Ryan would go to Nebraska. So we're all different.
I'm glad we all picked different schools.
Yeah, I was kind of I do like Miami, but then when I kind of thought about it, it's I don't know. If Miami came back, I don't think their fan base would be crazy. I do think Tennessee would.
How much? This is we don't have to really debate too long, but do you think Tennessee regrets not getting Greg Schiano over Jeremy Pruitt?
Probably. I mean, I think they'd be in a better position right now than they would be even with the new coach. Even with the new coach, even if he's okay, it's going to take him 2 to 3 years to win, I think. So I mean, Schiano would be in his 4th year now or something like that. He'd already have his foundation built. He'd probably already be getting his recruits. So
how long has Schiano been there? Is this his 2nd year?
Yeah, but he took 2 years off after not getting the Tennessee job. A year or 2 off after not getting the Tennessee job. So I think this upcoming season would be his 4th year at Tennessee. If they didn't run that guy off campus. But all right.
1 year off. So maybe his 3rd.
Okay.
He took 19 off. Yeah.
Is this his 2nd year?
Yeah, this will be his 2nd year with Rutgers.
He went 3-6 last year.
Yeah, but
because he pulled in all those grad transfers.
They were competitive, honestly.
They pulled in so many transfers.
Yeah, they actually lost a lot of close games. Good for them. All, I guess, moral victories.
I mean, for Rutgers,
Rutgers, yeah,
it probably is.
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, they're used to just getting their ass kicked.
And they lost by 6 to Michigan, 3 overtimes, and 7 points to Nebraska.
Oh, that Michigan game, they completely blew it. They were winning by double digits. Yeah, that was wild. Okay, next topic though. Ryan, this is your topic. You want to present it?
Yeah. So It's kind of been a hot topic lately, especially in the baseball world.
Wait, before you do that, no, this would definitely be his 4th or 5th year at Tennessee. He was going to accept the job in 2017. So.
Oh, then yeah, who knows?
Oh, he was gonna leave Ohio State?
Yes, and then he went back to Ohio State for 1 year, took a year
Oh,
off.
I thought he was done with Ohio State.
No, literally November 27th, 2017. Tennessee is on the verge. Search for a new football coach. They're about to hire Greg Schiano.
Oh, okay. I thought he was done at Ohio State when he was going to do that.
I knew I was right because I knew he was like, this was a long time ago. I remember that. Someone was just talking about it on Twitter the other day. All right, Ryan, your turn.
So baseball fans know that there have been an insane amount of no-hitters. There have been 6, and as of May 24th, there have been 6 no-hitters. And we're not even 2 full months in yet. So you're looking at basically one no-hitter every 10 days. I think my math is right. And basically they're saying, is it good or bad for baseball? And for me personally, like I feel like I understand the game of baseball pretty well, and like I like to see a no-hitter because I like seeing a pitcher battle. But for a sport that is trying to get younger, especially with the fan bases, because obviously a lot of the crowds and fans now are old. I think is the average age over 50 still? Zach, would you know that?
I don't know if that's.
I want to say it like maybe dropped to like 48 or 40. I mean, it's
really old still.
It's the oldest. It's the oldest average age by like I think 10 or 12 years of any other major sport.
So I
think
if you
literally don't like baseball, you're never gonna watch a game.
No, and I think for the average fan, someone that wants to just be entertained, I don't think no-hitters are good for the game. At least, well, I shouldn't say they're not good. This amount of no-hitters is not good for the game.
They're not exciting.
No, they're not.
Yeah, I think they're not exciting, but honestly, to baseball fans, like they'd enjoy it. But like, in my opinion, like it's like the normal person, or not the normal person. It's like some random person tuning in, maybe watching one game. If it's a no-hitter, they're probably like, "This is boring as fuck." But like in reality, like I think after a few games, that normal person, unless they start to somehow love it, no-hitter or not, I don't think he's going to tune back in, regardless of the no-hitter or not. Like I think at some point they're going to watch a game where they're like, this is super boring if they think a no-hitter is boring. So like, I don't think they're really going to get that viewer anyways. I honestly think it's like kind of better for the game just because like, I don't know. I feel like offenses have every advantage in every sport. And I think
baseball one where you don't.
Yeah. And it's like, I think the difficulty, it makes like the difficulty for hitters like very high in terms of scoring, where like NFL and NBA, everything's, and even NHL, you can't even really hit in the NHL anymore. And they were talking about how like guys who are fighters aren't really even needed because you don't hit like that. So like I think it's like the most difficult sport to score in. But for every no hitter, there's a game that's 17-16 now. Like today, the Blue Jays, they won 14-8. So the Rays won 14-8. So like, I think it balances itself out. Like we're gonna have people throw no hitters, which I think is cool. And other than really Kluber, like a lot of them haven't been like the best pitchers in the league at all. Like I think the one guy, like he threw a no hitter, and then the next he didn't even make it past like 2 innings after his.
Musgrove's been all right. He's just been with Pittsburgh for the last few years.
Yeah. And
what's crazy is that
has been horrendous this year. Other than
his doesn't count though.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. It should be 7.
His doesn't count.
Yeah.
It should be because the MLB is the one who made the fucking rule.
Everything else counts in the game, but that doesn't count.
I agree. I agree.
We can have 7.
It's not like the MLB is the one who said we're doing 7-inning games. So that's on them.
Well, I think what's cool about it is it's only been 3 teams that have been no hit. Seattle, Texas, and Cleveland. They've all been no hit twice.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's bad.
Cleveland's been no hit twice.
Yes.
I could see
Seattle-
I would pick a
Seattle.
different
Dude,
team.
Seattle has this.
Oh,
like,
their hitting is out of Mitch Haniger. Their hitting is
dude,
awful.
they are so bad,
Yeah,
and every year they're bad, and it's like, oh, we got another good draft pick, but we're gonna suck still for the next 10 years. You know, they haven't made the playoffs since like 2001.
Since they had the best record in baseball history.
No, they went the year after.
Oh.
Or wait, no. They won 99 games or 98 games and did not make it. My fault. Never mind. The next year after they had the most wins, they won like 98 games the next year and didn't make the playoffs. It was like
Seattle,
weirdest
Seattle,
year.
Texas, and Cleveland have both been no hit twice, or all three of them have been no hit twice.
No,
I think what's up?
So there was a couple articles that I was reading, and the one that I read today.
Wait. So before you go, which side did you say you're on? Are you on it's bad or good?
It is bad
Me?
for the game.
Okay.
I think it's good.
Okay.
I think no hitters are good.
All right, go on about your articles.
So the one I was reading today. So it said heading into Wednesday. So I'm assuming that was last Wednesday, and I think that was I'm assuming that was the last no-hitter.
That's when Kluber threw his.
Yeah.
So the league batting average heading into Wednesday was 236.
Yeah, it's 237 right now.
Yeah.
And hold on. And he said, in your head right now, go back, say 25 years and think about hearing someone say something like, in quotes, he's a 250 hitter.
But the thing is, like,
or he's a
average
240
is not looked
hitter.
at like he used to be.
And it's like, it's crazy to think that way, because if you say, like, I feel like when we were in like 10 years ago, like 300 was like, anything below 300 was like, eh. But now it's like,
the reason it's not.
I
looked
agree
at,
with you on that, Ryan. When I look at batting average and I'm like, see guys below 300, but it's changed because you have guys now who, like, in reality, like, they're hitting a home run or getting out, and they play every day now because they hit 45 home runs, and home run ball is so big. Analytically, they're like, well, every fifth appearance, if he can just hit a fly ball that either gets us a sac fly or a home run, like, we'll take that, even though we know he's going to get out the rest of the time. Like, I think that's why I think averages are so down, because you have guys who everyone's swinging for the fences now. Everyone's trying to.
Well, yeah.
You don't see as many guys like Ichiro right now. Like, he'd be such an outlier of a league because he would always he would hit. Like, we don't really even Jeter. Like, Jeter, I mean, he's top 10 in hits all time. Like, guys don't really approach the plate like that, I don't think, as much. There are guys who do that, but not as much. So, like, I think that's a huge part is, like, you have a guy who, like, Sano from the Twins. He plays every day. He's batting like 115 just because at any plate appearance he can hit a home run. Like, that's literally the only reason why he's continuing to hit every day. Same thing with Suarez from the Reds. He is so bad this year, but he still has 10 home runs, which is like top 50 in the MLB. So, like, I think that's a huge reason of why, because guys are just hitting home runs more. And it's like a guy could hit 150, but he still might have 36 home runs, which is absurd.
Right.
But
to continue, you see, the guy was talking about like defenders or just like MLB defenses and like players individually. They're so much faster. They're more athletic now.
The shift has royally changed the game.
I was just about to say that.
Zach, I was just going to say the shift. There's so much more analytics into the game now.
Changed hitters.
How many times have you seen a guy like rip one right at the middle? You're like, oh, that's a great hit, and then there's a guy just standing there catching it, and you're like, what the?
Yeah,
fuck?
I remember.
Joey Gallo would probably be a 300 hitter 10 years ago.
Dude, yeah, I remember growing up watching baseball as a kid. If there was like a hard ground ball hit past the pitcher, guaranteed base hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time, no matter what. Now it's like, no, it's probably hit right at someone.
So I think that article, like, I agree with points, but I think he needs to mention, like, dude, the shift. I agree. The shift is fucking a lot of people over.
Like, he's just saying, and he wasn't even saying is it good or bad for the game. He's just saying that there's going to be a lot more no hitters.
But in the
2021 season,
the ball did change this year. The ball is different.
Yeah, Zach, that's the next thing I was going to say, because Clayton Kershaw, that he was asked about, he does not like the no hitters. He said it's not. He doesn't think it's good for the game either, and
that's because he can't throw one right now. So
probably. And then
like that's like
I didn't know they
asking
changed the ball.
That's like asking like a kicker, like, okay, everyone else made it. Do you like this kick? Like, he's gonna say no then if he didn't make it. Clayton Kershaw has been okay this year, but the shift to the point of everyone hitting home runs, guys who like hit a shit ton of home runs or strike out kind of thing, like if you look at where they hit the ball, if it's in play, it is insane. Like how it is right to the shift every time. So like like you have like Miguel Sano, for example. I'm sure he's hit a rocket a few times, but like in a normal non-shift era, it might be a base hit. So instead of him batting 130, he's batting 215, 230, which still is pretty shitty, but it's way better than what he is right now. So like I think the guys who are home runs or out guys, like I think the shift is even fucking them over like a lot more.
Yeah, especially lefties.
Yeah, for sure.
A fun fact. So I found these two things. Like Yasmani Grandal may be one of the worst hitters in baseball, but he continues to play every day because he walks.
Yeah, your on-base percentage is key.
Dude, he bats 141. His on-base percentage is 395. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
Like, that is unheard of. But then there was I found this picture the other day on MLB. Like, they posted it. So, like, they posted from, like, 2010 to 2021, like, hits in the MLB, like, all 32 teams to strikeouts. In 2010, there were 42,554 hits to 34,306 strikeouts. So there was 8,248 more hits than strikeouts. In 2021 already, there is 9,957 hits, 11,443 strikeouts. So the hits to minus strikeouts is negative 1,486. Like, that's wild.
Yeah.
And to all of these points, so of like strikeouts and stuff, like 15 years ago, if a guy threw 99, everyone was like, holy fuck.
Oh, God. Dude, if you threw over like 95.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like nowadays, it's like every closer
average.
or everyone has one reliever who at least probably touches 100. So it's like
the fact that Jacob deGrom steadily throws like 101, 102
yeah.
at the start, scary.
In like the sixth inning of a game, he'll hit 100 again. So it's like I do think pitching is just like guys are just, it's just like in basketball where like, MJ's like dunk from the free throw line, everyone thought was the craziest thing ever. Like this man just jumped from the free throw line. Zach LaVine was doing that shit and going between his legs, like, and it was normal. So like, it's just like everything else. Like athletes get better. I mean, we're like the NFL. We're seeing D linemen run fucking 4.5 40s, and you're like, what the hell? And like,
dude, imagine if Aaron Donald played in the game and like
you go from that, and then you go to the MLB. Guys are just throwing harder, and I don't know. Maybe people are getting brought up better in baseball pitching. I mean, when we were younger, I feel like if you're a good pitcher, you're 12. Coaches, dumbass like dads, were making you throw 100 curveballs at age 12. And yeah, you probably should.
I think honestly, I think kids now they're becoming pitchers only at an earlier age.
Yeah. So stupid.
Yeah, probably. But it's like, I mean, they probably saved their arm a lot more than they did when like. Like, you don't see what like so I mean even Little League World Series, I know it's not the end all be all, a lot of players don't even make it, but like they have a pitch count. Like I feel like a lot more stuff is being looked at after they saw like, hey, maybe the 12-year-old who threw 97 pitches and 87 curveballs, that's not probably good for his arm. And
Tom Glavine basically said like a few years ago how like making kids play baseball year round, especially a pitcher, is like the worst thing for them.
Pitching, I think for sure. Other positions, like maybe catching.
He was like pitching because he was a pitcher.
Yeah, pitchers for sure. Because I feel like, I mean, even MLB guys, they don't throw. Like they'll pitch their season, but like they take time off and they get
they take a month and a half, 2 months off.
Like my cousin, he plays baseball pretty much all year round, but there's kids that like on his travel team that are getting Tommy John already.
Yeah, exactly. It's insane.
16 years old.
Yeah, it's absurd. So like. Yeah, I mean that's a whole nother conversation of just it's absurd. But yeah, I don't know if I think it's good or bad. I might just be neutral to it. I kind of think it might just be like your cap kind of thing where it's like, and to Zach, like Zach said, the three teams, like the Indians are a good team, but like the Mariners and Rangers fucking blow. So I guess it's not like if we were seeing like
you can't get one hit, just one.
That's why I think it's so exciting.
It is
so hard to get a major league.
Yeah, I agree. I actually think like I think if you get to the 7th inning, it could be like a 4-0 game. The game might be boring as fuck. It's more interesting to see if the guy doesn't let up a hit or something. Like when who threw the no hitter for the White Sox? Was it Lance Lynn or was it
Rodon? Two of the no hitters.
I mean that guy in the 9th inning, everyone's watching it. Like they're up.
That was a perfect game.
Yeah, and he hits a guy, and it's like holy shit! And it's like why was everyone worried about this guy? They're clearly going to win. It's like he almost had a perfect game. But I think it's just you have. I guess I'm indifferent. It does make the game a little more exciting for me, but I don't mind watching baseball. But like it's a shitty teams really getting no hit. Like you're not going to see the Dodgers probably. I mean, who knows? But like, you're not going to see the Dodgers get if the Rangers and Mariners
probably not.
If the Mariners and Rangers get no hit again, like they should have to be able. They should have to like forfeit.
Well, did you know?
Like from now on, if they get no hit, it's like you forfeit 2 games and then you play again, and then if they get no hit again, you forfeit 2 games and play again. Especially because they're terrible. At least the Indians are above 500.
I could be wrong, but I think Plesac was a part of both of them pitching opposite team. He was pitching against Wade Miley.
I see what you're saying. I have no clue on that.
He was the opposing pitcher for the Indians.
Yeah. All I know is
they got no hit.
I know the Mariners got no hit by what? The Orioles?
By John Means, yeah.
Yeah, and then the other guy that they got no hit. It is funny if you ever bet though, like on the team that's getting no hit, like you're just like, are you fucking like I have 0 chance to win this fucking bet.
Well, yeah, Marty did that when Seattle.
Yeah, so I think
he'd never been to Seattle and he went to the game and then he bet on the Mariners and they got no hit.
I honestly think I bet on the Mariners when John Means threw a no hitter against them.
So John Means no hitter it sucks too because he lost a perfect game on a drop third strike.
See, I don't think that's. But first few things. If a guy makes an error and ruins a no hitter, I think you deserve to be able to punch him in his dick 15 times or like do whatever you want to him. Like I think there's like the pitcher should be able to do whatever you want to him. Also, like if a guy makes an error and like the pitchers pitch well, for example, the Blue Jays, guy made an error today. He was the reason for all 5 runs. Starting pitching the rest of the 8 innings, did not give up a single run. So it was literally all this guy's fault. But secondly, if you have a perfect game, like I don't think an error should count. Like it should just be in bold print. Perfect game, 1 error, and then across the board put the guy's name.
And he got caught stealing, so he still faced the minimum 27.
Yeah, even then, like that should be.
It was a drop third strike in the 3rd inning. It was like it just went through the catcher's mitt under his legs. Guy struck out, got to first base, got caught stealing.
What should happen is the guy should have to bat again, and whoever made the error has to pitch to him. And if he gets him out, it's a perfect. You just go on it about it.
Well, do you hear what
the pitcher technically ended on a perfect game?
You hear what Big Cat said on Barstool about Baumgartner's 7 innings?
Yeah, what was it like?
He's like.
You throw
just keep going until they get a hit, or if he completes 9 innings and no hit baseball.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that'd be interesting, I guess.
But it's only 2 more innings.
Also, I think it's really cool because like some of the no hitters thrown this year are by guys that like Corey Kluber hasn't really pitched in 2 years. He no hits his former team that he just played for the year before. Carlos Rodon was a DFA out of the White Sox organization, former 1st round pick, turned Tommy John guy. Earns a spot in spring training, hits a batter, so almost throws a perfect game, throws a no-hitter. John Means, I mean, he hasn't been special at all in his MLB career.
Never even heard of him.
And now he's being talked about as being a top 5 pitcher in the American League this season. Like last year he was, that's hard to say, but I'll go 2 years ago in 2019, he was 12-11 with a 3.6 ERA. This year he's 4-0 with a 1.7. Like that's insane.
He's juicing.
Probably is. They need to allow steroids. Like at least some part of steroids.
Well, with these batting averages they do, like holy cow. Like that's just not fun. I say this, like so on Sunday I watched my first Formula One race ever. Because I started watching that docu-series on Netflix called Race to Survive or something like that. And there was the guy that started first he was first the entire time. There was no lead changes at the top.
Yeah, dude, I don't watch.
That's boring. I feel like that's boring to the casual fan.
Say that again.
So the Monaco race, they're like Formula One, like the Monaco race, the Monaco Grand Prix is like that's their top one.
Yeah.
And the guy that started in first place, was first the entire time. Like no one passed him, not even for a lap.
Yeah,
and
but at
for
least
some
you get
for someone that's
crashes.
like me, that's casual, that's trying to watch a new sport, that's kind of boring. Like I just like to see drama. I like to see lead changes.
Yeah,
And,
but I
like, for
think a
soccer,
no hitter does have drama because it's like
it definitely has drama. But if someone's
I agree
wanting
with you.
action,
I
like
agree with you on that one though. Like the first race you tune into and the same guy just leads every fucking lap. That kind
yeah,
of is a little boring. But I agree. I
But,
mean,
like,
soccer, yeah, soccer. Like
soccer's a different. If they have 0-0, 1-0,
yeah, there's
like
some
that's
games.
boring.
There's some games that are 0-0 and like they have like one shot on the goal too. So it's like there's literally like no action the entire fucking game. I mean, baseball can be boring, but honestly, like blowouts in baseball are boring as fuck too.
No, they
Like,
are.
like
Yeah,
when
there's different ways to be boring.
when the Giants beat the Reds like 16-3, they were up 14-0 in the third inning. Like at that point, you're just like, all right, like can they play 7? Can they play 6? Like this is just
Yeah,
so dumb. And then like
Yeah.
like everyone does, they throw a fucking rotation pitcher for the last like 2 innings. It takes forever. And
yeah, and I guess if there's a better way to look at it, I'd rather see a 1-0 no hitter than a 16-0
yeah, that's my
no
point.
hitter.
That's my point. Like,
Yeah.
like I think the no hitters that are like the game is within 3 runs is very interesting, especially with how many people can hit home runs now and how much the home run is.
Oh yeah, it can change.
It
with
can
one
change
pitch.
in the snap of
Yeah.
a finger. 1-0 for sure, because I mean, all it takes is one guy to get a hold of the ball and the pitcher to mess up one pitch, and it's a
Well, you know
tie.
what happened to Wade Miley's, right?
I didn't
No.
even know he had a
Wade-
hitter.
Wade Miley's, it was 0-0 going into the top of the 9th, and then the Reds finally scored for him.
Oh yeah,
Hey, pulled
yeah.
through.
That's right.
Yeah, it
That's
was because
good. That's something I think I would enjoy.
yeah.
But I'm not thinking of me, because I feel like I have a really good understanding for the game. So I'm thinking of someone that's watching baseball for the first time.
Yeah, I know what you
Yeah.
mean. So, but those are our 3 debates tonight. We'll be back next week. If you have any topic you want us to discuss, DM us.
I just looked at Chris
Passwords.
Bryant's stats compared to the averages. He might be NL MVP. Who knows?
Yeah. But he's not being talked about.
Chris Bryant's playing really fucking good, and they're still going
Batting
to trade him.
312 with an on base plus slugging of over 1,000,
And they're
10
still
home
going
runs.
to trade him. So,
Well, I would
That's
too.
the ownership sucks. They're just
I
looking
mean, I
for.
don't know. They're not like the Cubs are all right, and their pitching hasn't been the best, and guys have been.
No, the team is good. I'm saying the owners. They're
No,
just.
I know. He said he
Yeah.
would trade him too. I was like, I mean,
Well, I'm
Well-
saying they're already willing to do a rebuild. That's why I'm saying you have value with them now to trade him.
yeah. I just like I don't know. Like if you're gonna be like if you have a team
Yeah, I
that
would-
can compete for the
yeah.
playoffs, why would you just be okay with the rebuild? That's just why their ownership is stupid.
I mean,
agree with you on
when they
that.
traded Darvish for nothing, that made no sense to me.
Yeah, because honestly, their
You could
pitching
just-
has been okay this year. So, like, if you add Darvish to that starting rotation, they could have been pretty good. And then,
Just win one series every 20 years.
if you're gonna trade Chris Bryant, though, like, you got to trade Craig Kimbrell. Like,
Oh,
you got-
Kimball's going to be traded too if you trade Bryant.
like you
Yeah.
have to trade almost everyone. Like, keeping some of them is just so fucking pointless.
I think they'll keep Rizzo just because they.
I don't think
like,
anyone would. He's up after this year, isn't he?
No, he's a free agent next season.
Okay, but I like.
Baez and
You know
Bryant
what?
are both agents this offseason.
I don't think a lot of people would give up a lot for Rizzo. Like, people probably wouldn't. I mean, I don't think it can.
I don't even know how he's doing this year. I honestly
He's
haven't watched
alright.
really.
It'd be Baez, like who knows on Contreras, but Bryant's obviously the big wig who everyone would want.
What sucks
Yeah.
for Baez is there's 3 other shortstops on the market this offseason that are better than him.
Who's on the market?
Trevor Story.
Seager,
Well,
Trevor-
technically 4. Trevor Story, Corey Seager,
Seager.
Carlos Correa, and Marcus Simeon. Simeon's playing second because Bo Bichette plays short for the Blue Jays.
I feel like this,
Yeah.
like the last 4 to 5 years, we've had like the best group of shortstops MLB's had in a long time. Like there's so many really good shortstops.
Yeah,
in
there's
the
a lot.
majors.
Yeah,
Like if Hobby's not top 4, top 5,
he's
is he
not.
top 5 in the NL?
And NL shortstops, yeah, not top 5 in baseball.
Okay.
Yeah.
But all right, that wraps it up. We'll see everyone next week.